Radio Norfolk.
Good morning, welcome to the programme. Thank you for tuning in to Nick Conrad at Breakfast on BBC Radio Norfolk, just gone 6:30. Our top story right now, heritage sites in Norfolk at risk from night hawkers will get more police protection as part of a new clampdown. Night hawkers are people who go illegal metal detecting on farmland or heritage sites without permission. Once they've made a discovery, they don't report it, they sell it on the black market. Stephen Bennett is a Norwich metal detectorist. He says it's ruining the reputation of those who pursue the hobby.
When you do get permission, to find out that someone's been on your field in the middle of the night and taken out and more or less clean the area, it is a problem. It's not only that, British Heritage is losing all the information, all the data, and these guys are just selling the stuff. They're not interested in artefacts, they're not interested in getting involved with British Heritage or anything. They're just getting the stuff and they're selling it.
We're going to be live with Stephen Bennett later in the programme, plus I'll be speaking to the Country Land and Business Association to find out what impact night hawking has on landowners in the county. We're also going to hear from the local fines officer who identifies and records discoveries that get declared to get his take on this.
Morning guys, Stephen Hatcher, LNT Detectorist. It's an early start for me this morning again with the BBC. We're just going to do a kind of mock setup. It's for the radio, so it's just to let them know what it's all about and have a little chat about night hawks as well. And BBC have just arrived, the van's out the front there, it's just getting set up. We're not on air for another half an hour, so I'll come back to you. I'll just show you the van outside guys, just bear with me. Got all my kit down there. I'm in my back garden here, just a bit of a mock setup, just to let these guys know what it's all about and give my humble opinion. I'm not an expert, but my humble opinion anyway guys. Right guys, back at you. Here's the BBC van there, getting his signal all sorted out. So we're on air in about half an hour's time I believe. We'll be going out in my back garden there, from my fingers. We're going out in the back garden there, just doing a mock setup, and we'll have a little bit of a chat. That's the BBC there. BBC Norfolk, and we'll catch you later guys. Right guys, I think we're all set up, they're just waiting for a signal now. Hopefully the wind will die down. Filming as well. I've put a few spots there around here, so yeah. we go here somewhere. Yeah. What's that? Is Anna in the studio today, or is it Anna about, or in the studio?
No, we've got on control today. Was it Dean? Tim was. No, it's Richard. Tim, Richard, and Kaylee.
Right. Okay. It's on Nick's breakfast show again, yeah. It's on Nick's breakfast show.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Because Anna did the magnet whilst I was.
That's
off.
right. Yeah. He was away somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of this that I do with metal detecting and treasure hunting, it's I've got a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, have you?
I've got two channels, one for metal detecting, one for vaping, because I'm an advocate of vaping.
Right.
Try and get people off the fags. I see you smoke.
Yeah.
You ever try vaping now?
No. I'm actually stopping smoking.
Oh, right.
I've cut down the programme. I've halved my halved my intake.
That's
so
good.
far.
That's good. But so I do a lot of content making and filmmaking. I produce about 25 programmes a month. Right. So it takes up a lot of my time. Been with the BBC some time now, haven't you?
38 years.
38 years. Blimey. You still enjoy it?
Yeah. Yeah, I told them I'll back him when I stop enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because years ago I would have had to have retired, but things have changed. Anyone listening, send to studio, please. It's Wally, no output yet. I have queue now. Thank you very much. Hiya. Good to go. Yeah. And correct. Stephen Bennett.
Yep. Right guys, I think we're ready to go live now. This is Wally Webb from BBC Norfolk. Do you actually live in Norwich, Wally?
Sorry?
Do you actually live in Norwich? Or?
No, I live in Brundle.
Oh, Brundle, yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to the radio. He's had a few guests on this morning, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah. And I think, did we have a quote from you off the phone?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think Amy took some quotes.
Have you got it running already?
Yeah, it's alright, there's plenty of runtime on
I
there.
was going to say, you've got plenty of memory.
Yeah. Plenty of editing I'll have to do. Yeah, I love the whole concept of producing programmes, I love it.
That's the weather. He's going to play a clip in first.
Right.
Back to our top story this morning. Norfolk police are clamping down on thieves sneaking into heritage sites at night and digging up artefacts. The illegal metal detectorists are known as night hawkers and dig on private property without permission and without declaring their fines. Now the police are stepping up patrols to keep them out. Earlier we heard what impact this is having on recording this county's historic fines with Norfolk's fines officer, Dr. Adrian Marsden. Digs declared in Norfolk get assessed by him. He says the historical data is worth more than the cost of the items.
It's difficult to quantify because it's often not reported. Some of these things are probably not worth very much financially, but some of them undoubtedly are. What we're more concerned with is the historical and archaeological information that's being lost. It's very difficult to stop because often the only evidence it's gone on is the fact you've got holes in a field the following morning and the people who've done it are long gone. Sadly, even when these people are caught red-handed, invariably the courts let them go.
Let's find out more about how much of a problem this is with a legitimate metal detectorist. Wally Webb is in Norwich for us this morning to find out more and have a go himself, and he's live.
Yes, cold but bright this morning. We're on a legal piece of ground to do a bit of metal detectoring this morning on BBC Radio Norfolk. We're actually in the back garden of Stephen Bennett, who's been detecting for quite some time now. Stephen, we've got all your kit here as well. The detector, a little trench spade and something to put the little artefacts in. You can travel light with this kind of stuff, can't you?
Certainly, Wally. Good morning, Wally. Good morning, Nick in the studio and listeners. And it's a bright sunny morning today in Norfolk. Yes, you can travel pretty light. It's we did a programme a couple of weeks ago with Anna on magnet fishing. Now there's no permissions needed for that. It's just a magnet in the rivers. Obviously, you have to be responsible, as I explained last time. But metal detecting is a different ball game. Different ball game altogether. You obviously need permissions. The only places you can detect without permission is your own land or on beaches, and that's only up to the full tide mark, because all the beaches belong to the Crown, and you have got permission to do those, on most beaches anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend an awful lot of money on very sophisticated equipment, but you can pick them up quite cheaply. Now, in the 80s, I know I bought one and went on the beach, for a little while. But there was a licence system at one time, but not now.
No, they abandoned that several years ago now. It's, I mean, it may be a solution to bring in one or two problems we have with these night hawks, these people basically stealing the Crown's property and, the heritage of the country and of Norfolk especially. Norfolk is full of history, full of heritage, and there's so much beneath the ground. It's unbelievable what's down there, and these guys are taking it away, and perhaps a licence might be an idea, but I don't know. It's a difficult subject. It's, we're out in the outbacks, out in the country. They're doing it in the dead of the night, and it's very difficult to control whether the police can do anything. I mean, people are trespassing at the end of the day, so they're breaking the law.
How much of a problem is it, do you imagine? Because we probably don't know half the people that go out. You just would never know.
You'd never know. I mean, it's only evident from detectors that are on their permission fields. It takes a lot of hard work to get permissions from farmers. I'm particularly struggling at the moment to try and get land to detect on. So most of my detecting lately has been on beaches where it's, you don't need permission.
So just give me an example of when you've been knocked back then. Where have you been?
Well, it's trying to get. I think it's more. It may be down some to the the impression that farmers are getting that these illegal touts are about stealing property, and what they're going to do on the property besides taking the actual stuff out the ground, damaging stock, leaving gates open. We're everyone in the metal detecting fraternity are very responsible. We've all got licences. We're all members of the MCD.
So you present yourself to, let's say, a farmer, and you say, here's my licence, I'm a responsible person, I will notify you and whatever. But they're still now being frightened off because of the night hawking.
Yeah, I think one or two are. I mean, it's not as extreme as some people think, but it is going on. It seems to be more prevalent in Norfolk at the moment. There's one or two more cases coming out. It's like Vikings coming to our land and just raping and pillaging our heritage. And, even with that term, a lot of these people are organised gangs, and some of them, I'm afraid, are from abroad. We are getting some British people doing it as well, of course.
And it is worth their while to do it.
Well, yes. I mean, it's a rare occasion that you're going to pull up a hoard or gold goblets or, Roman gold or Saxon gold. It is very rare, and you have to work very, very hard. There's lots of rubbish beneath the ground as well. So, but these people, they tend to go to recognised archaeological sites, which we're not allowed on anyway. No one's allowed on those sites. And it's those sites that they're hitting in the middle of the night.
Would the police find it difficult to do anything about it?
Yeah, that's where the problem is, isn't it? It's whether they've got the resources now with the manpower or what. But again, it's trespassing. I know the police are quite active in Norfolk with the farmers, with stock being stolen, machinery being stolen. So perhaps it can all be encompassed under the same umbrella, and the police just being vigilant for these people, and also the public as well. It's programs like this which will bring it to light, and hopefully the public out there, if they see anything suspicious, especially people living out in the sticks or in the country, if they see lights in the fields or wherever, or a suspicious van parked up, just phone the police. It's a lot of metal detectors said don't get involved with presenting something like this because it's given a bad light on metal detecting. The true metal detectors, the ones with a conscience and with licences, and they're saying, well, don't bring it to the light because it's giving metal detecting a bad name, which it is. You go to a farmer sometimes and they'll read the news about these hawkers. Of course they won't let anybody on their land then, and that land's lost forever, and all the heritage in that land is lost and stays in the ground. We do so much. I mean, there was a survey, I think there's a survey that comes out every couple of years on the amount of fines that's found in the country through heritage. It's all done through the Portable Antiquities Scheme, and part of that is your local fines officer. Now, every responsible metal detector will have a licence, MCD licence, insurance, liability insurance and everything like that. Every responsible detectorist will have one of those. And this scheme, where all the fines are reported to, was set up some years ago. It's a collaboration between various metal detecting organisations, national heritage, museums, the council and everything. And this was set up so people, general public like me and you, digging our garden, or builders digging fields, or road workers finding objects in the ground. And the last report came out, I think it was about 2 years ago. There's one due now, and there's thousands of reports of treasures found. And believe it or not, 96% of those reported finds was from metal detectorists. So we are gathering the history of our land.
It's not going away, and you're not going to give it up?
No, most certainly no. We'll keep plugging away. We'll keep our eyes open for these people. It is a shame it's going on, but like any society, Wally, we have a bad element.
Stephen, thanks very much. Stephen Bennett here in his garden, which we're going to start digging it over now.
Wally, thank you, Stephen.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. I think it was very important what you said there. So, lovely. Thanks very much.
Okay then, Wally. Thanks.
Really appreciate that.
Nice to meet you. There you go. That was again short and sweet. I thought we was going to have a swing in the garden and do various things, but hey ho, perhaps another time. But they are limited for time on these programs. There's only a certain amount they can slot in. But hopefully I got a bit of a message across there about what's going on. I say it's not rampant what's going on with these nighthawks, but it is happening. We need to realise it's happening and bringing it to the light of the public. Hopefully will make them more vigilant in the fields if they see anything suspicious going on. So there you go, that's it all done there. Thanks for Wally from the BBC, thanks to Nick Conrad, and hopefully we'll do something else in the future with these guys. That was quite enjoyable. Yeah, well, that was short and sweet, wasn't it? It's all the same with these programmes. It's very limited for time and slots I've got in their programmes. But that was nice. I enjoyed that again. It's nice working with the BBC again. That's my second time going with the BBC live on Outside Broadcast. I mean, it was short. There's lots of things I would have put into the conversation as well, but as I say, there wasn't time. I mean, it's all about being legitimate, conscientious metal detectors guys, as we are, as most of you guys are out there. You know, we've all got our MCD licences, we've all got liability insurance, we're all conscientious, we all know the country code, etc, etc, and we all have to, you know, looking for a history at the end of the day. You know, a lot of the public think that metal detectors, oh, they're after gold, they're after money. It ain't about that, you know, guys. It really is not about that. It's nice if you get to come along and get something like that, but that is very, very rare. It really is. It's all about the history to me, as you guys know. It's as you know, you all feel the same. It's about finding that relic in the ground, and when you turn that clod over, get your pointer down, and you see something there that looks back at you. See if it's round in the ground, it gets a heartbeat pumping, or you know, a bit something that looks Roman or whatever. It's amazing. I remember my first coin that I found, Roman coin this is, it was only a copper coin. It wasn't a silver or a gold one. It would be nice if it was, but hey ho. But I remember finding that and looking down and seeing round in the ground, your heart starts to pound, lift it out the ground, you look at it. I stood up, brushed off the dirt, looked at it in the sunlight, and there on the front of this coin was an Emperor's Roman head. You know, I fell to my knees. I more or less had a tear in my eyes. You know, it's with joy. And I just had to pause for about 5-10 minutes to think. You know, I'm holding something there that the last person that held that in their hands was a Roman, or you know, a Roman Briton. It's just amazing to know that you've got one in your hand. And the last person that held that was 2,000 years ago. Absolutely incredible, and that really gets a heart pounding, guys. You know, I'm looking forward to finding my first hammers and my first golds, which will be nice. But as I say, it's very, very rare. And it's all about the passion. It really is. And you know, one or two of you out there suggested that I shouldn't get involved with this Nighthawk business, that is painting metal detectors in a bad light. But you know, I think the more the message gets out to the public out there, the better for it. You know, people become more aware, as I said on the programme. You know, public will become aware. They'll see something fishy going on, a car parked up or a van, and one or two people walking about the fields in the dead of night or darkness. Phone the police, you know, get the police involved. It's not prolific, it's not happening a lot, it really isn't. But they are stealing our heritage, they really are, and we do a lot. Metal detecting fraternity do a lot. We report all our fines. We're all part of the Portable Antiquity Series, and we've all got our local flow fines liaison officer guys. That's what it's all about. It's about logging all those, and when you do log your fines, you know, when I do find something that's really interesting, you know, I go to my fines officer once. I think they're about once every 2 or 3 months. They have a little meeting a lot. You can go in and show them your fines. And you save them all up till then. And I also put a grid reference using a grid reference on your phone, satellite navigation, to get a longitude and latitude, exactly where you found your object that you think that's interesting, the way it was in the ground, you know, the way it lay, and what other objects you found around it. And you report that to your FLO officer when you go and see them. And you know, perhaps they won't take it away for the museums or whatever, but if they do, you know, you're entitled to some sort of compensation for it. But 99% of the fines you do find, they give back to you because they're not of interest, but they tell you exactly what they are, which is a fascinating thing. You know, these guys are specialists, you know, they know what they're talking about, which is it's what it's all about. It's metal detecting for you guys. Absolutely. You know, I wouldn't call it a hobby for me, I call it a passion. As with most of you guys, it's a passion. History beneath our feet. That's what it's all about. And the sooner we try and get rid of these people, these bloody invading Vikings that are stealing our heritage, the better. But hey ho, will it ever be stopped? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is at the end of the day. But at least we got the message out there, and hopefully one or two of these idiots will be looking at this and think twice. I don't know. Perhaps not. But never mind. We can try, can't we?
Stephen Bennett is a metal detectorist from Norwich. He's been telling our reporter Amy Blunt that the rules are very strict.
They're doing everything totally illegal. Not only are they going onto farmers' land without permission in the middle of the night with their lamps, but they're also stealing off the farmers, because any fines that you do find on a farmer's land, when you do get permission, the farmer is entitled to 50% of the proceeds. Should you be lucky to find gold or any hoards, they're being found, they're out there. So the farmer's losing out, and also the local antiquities losing out. Any hoards you have to hand in at all, anything, those must be handed in. And sometimes the fines liaison officer will hold on to your artefacts, and they will go into museums, and you will be compensated for that. They will be bought off you or whatever. But as a general, it's you do need to be careful what you're doing, and getting those permissions and making sure you're doing everything right. Make sure you close all the gates, country code, and all that type of practice. That's basically it, really. It's
How much of a problem is night hawking for you?
Yeah, it's not only because some of these guys, getting the permission, that's one of the hardest things in the world to get. I don't go out much these days because I'm finding it very difficult to get farmers to let me go on their land. Obviously we treat everything with respect, and we do buy the farmers, once we do get permission, a bottle of something at Christmas and all this, and they get 50% of all proceeds. And it's very difficult to get on lands, and when you do get permission, to find out that someone's been on your field in the middle of the night, and taken out, more or less clean the area, it is a problem. It's not only that, it's just, British Heritage is losing all the information, all the data, and these guys are just selling the stuff. They're not interested in artefacts, they're not interested in getting involved with the British Heritage or anything. They're just getting the stuff and they're selling it, which is a big problem. Apparently it's becoming more of a bigger problem. To me, I've not experienced anything. But within the detecting community, it does seem to be a big problem at the moment. And I know the police are picking up on it now and trying to crack down on it.
Is it a new problem, though? Is it something that's been happening a while?
No, it's been going on a long time. It's, even Stonehenge and places like that, people will try and creep up in the middle of the night. And it's been going a long time, apparently.
Does it give detectorists a bad name? Does it give people a bad impression of what you're there and what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it does. It's, people, they've got a bit of a strange impression of detectorists, that we're a bit of a weird bunch. I don't know, but, we're trying our best, Obviously we want to find stuff, of course we do. And, everything that we do find, we liaise with the local antiquity schemes, portable antiquity schemes, to let them know exactly what we're finding. And, a lot of the stuff we find, we don't know what it is, and we need their help to identify these artefacts, and also to get them logged into the antiquity scheme for future reference. But I think it does give the detectives a bad name, because it's all about stealing at the end of the day, isn't it? People being rather naughty. It's I don't know what the answer is other than patrolling, but whether that will happen with finances, I don't know.
Like you say, though, it's taking these fines away from people that would really appreciate them. It is, like you say, these people selling things on, they're not getting passed to experts, they're not getting assessed, and people aren't discovering where they came from.
That's right, yeah. They're just lost forever. It's just history lost forever when that happens. At least when we find artefacts or coins or gold or whatever, we do log them into the portable antiquity scheme and the local fines liaison officers, so it's all logged into the system of British archaeology.
Dr. Adrian Marsden is a fines officer for Norfolk Historic Environment. He identifies and records discoveries that get declared, and he's in my studio right now. Very good morning to you.
Morning.
So let's talk about this. How big a problem is night hawking?
It's difficult to quantify because it's often not reported, so we don't know quite how much of it's going on. We hear stories, sort of hose found in the morning, that sort of thing. So there's probably quite a bit of it going on, but actually how much is often, as I said, difficult to quantify.
Yeah, well, you're just not going to know, aren't you? But the difficult thing is, I guess people are making off with some pretty expensive items, because if not, why would they be doing it?
Yeah, there's certainly a profit motive. Some of these things are probably not worth very much financially, but some of them undoubtedly are. What we're more concerned with is the historical and archaeological information that's being lost, where we're effectively trying to build up maps of the past for various periods, and these people are effectively removing bits and pieces of the jigsaw.
Yeah, the work you do is really exciting. Just talk me through what is the correct procedure if you do make a discovery.
What we would ideally like people to do is record their finds. So anything that's pre-1700 AD, obviously, we would like them to bring it in, tell us where they found it, and then record it so the future, well, posterity will benefit.
Anyway, guys, that's all from me, from Metal Detectorist, LNT Detectorist, my channel, guys. I've got another channel, Cart Baby TV, as well. As I say, if there's any farmers out there looking in, give me a message. Give me a message if you're interested to let me kindly come onto your land and share my finds with you. That'd be absolutely lovely, guys. And till then, from me, Alan T, Stephen, guys, you be lucky. As per usual, guys, keep it real, and we'll see you next time on Alan T Detectorist. Till then, ta-da!